Welcome back to Sustained Overruled. I am the anonymous attorney. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I appreciate y'all. And as I said, I will not be going live tonight, so this this is pre-recorded. So we're stepping away or we're stepping adjacent to the YSL trial. Here's the thing about me. I am a very simple person, okay? If I see Kayla Bumpus, I'm going to click. And they better not be dragging her name. I'm not gonna read the comments because comments are usually nasty. So let us just get right into it. I have things to do. I have things to do. I'm sure around this time, you probably all have things going on. But Diggy said that this was a pretty good interview or conversation, and that's why we are tuning in. Let's see. Okay, who are these?
You ready? All right. Look, dog, I'm
Okay. I need to work on my intro.
Underrated podcast, another episode. Shannon Shorter.
I'm Dayon Dunlap.
Not Shannon. Not Shannon into. Let me find out. Hold
We're
on.
glad to be here. We got a special guest,
All right.
lawyer, criminal lawyer, personal injury lawyer, Miss
Yep.
Kayla Bumpus.
Hello.
I appreciate you for joining us. But first, why are you?
Obviously, I don't know anything about these men. Maybe I should look them up. Okay, do I have time? And I'm always going through rabbit holes. So they are the underrated. Are they from Georgia, Texas? Who are these men? I've actually never heard of them until obviously this video. Let me see. Okay, now I'm just going down the rabbit hole. So we're not. Yeah, let's just stick to the video.
Underrated. In what ways are you underrated?
Right.
Oh my goodness. That is such a good question.
Kayla is so pretty. Kayla is so. I mean, we've always known this, but they did justice. These cameras brought it all together.
So I think that a lot of people sleep on me as an attorney because I am authentic to who I am.
Okay.
So because I get on Instagram and pose in bikinis and lace outfits and rap songs, I guess that means I'm not a good lawyer.
Okay.
I don't know. Talking about rap, how do we rate SB's music? I like Red Light. I hate that I don't hate that I like Red Light. Whatever they have going on has nothing to do with me. I've always said I have no dog in this fight. The reason why I watch the trial is to really learn from other attorneys. Here's the thing. At the present moment, right, with the what is this? With a broadcasting of trials on a broader scale, that to me has opened up opportunities for attorneys, not just attorneys, but even lay folks to observe court proceedings and learn a lot. What I've learned, again, every video I need to tell you guys how brilliant Max Short is, but what I mean, I know how to cry. Here I go. I'm always going off on tangents. I wish this was a live video, but obviously cannot be live because I have things going on. But in any event, Meg Shard is a brilliant attorney. One thing about me, I mean, I am a good attorney, right? I'm a good attorney, but I'm always prepared to learn from folks that are more experienced than me. And the one thing that I'm taking away from this trial, we could also learn what not to do. But the one thing I'm absolutely borrowing, I said a few videos ago, I said I was going to steal. Let me see, who is it that corrected me? Who is it? I don't want to mention the wrong name because they're like, oh, she didn't give me credit. But one of my co-counsels said I am not stealing. I'm pretty much just incorporating. I'm basically borrowing from X Short. But I like, when it comes to closing arguments, I like the fact that he asked the jury to, from the very beginning, from the onset, he asked the jury to find his client not guilty. Usually, the way that I've done it and the way that I've seen other attorneys do it, that's at the very end. They usually go through the evidence and then the very end they ask for not guilty. But he straight out the gate, he he asked for not guilty, goes through the evidence, attacks credibility, and then at the end again he asks for, find my client not guilty. Anyways, I'm just rambling. I really wish this was a live video. I wish this was a live video, but we'll be back.
But what a lot of people don't realize is that is what actually makes me the perfect lawyer.
Okay.
My clients love me.
Right.
I think that my clients, I am very relatable to them, and I'm a beast in the courtroom. But the world thinks, oh, she's so unprofessional.
Yeah, I mean, we've had this video is only 25 minutes, but we're probably going to turn it into an hour because I have a lot of commentary. We did talk about this. Let me see, probably going back a week ago, where my co-counsel Jasmine and I were basically saying that who Kayla Bumpus is on social media, or what people take from that, the narrative that they try to create. Listen, I'm going to say, I do not know Kayla Bumpus. I do not know Kayla Bumpus. I don't know her personally, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm standing up for her, but this is my opinion as it relates to her. People have called her the G word. I hate that word, so I'm not going to repeat that word here. But who she is or the way she portrays herself, again, my view of social media is very limited because I have Reddit, which I go to once in a while, and when I go there, I'm just following. I follow Big Law. I follow public defenders. Public defenders subreddit is brilliant because I actually started. I joined that. I'm kind of new to Reddit as well. Never mind. Now I'm just rambling. Now I'm just rambling at this point. Let's get into it. Let's watch the video, and then should I reserve my commentary for the end? I don't know. I wish this was live though, because I prefer the live platform. I just, I like the exchange of information between the parties. But let's get into it.
Can you just take us back to East Atlanta? I believe you said that's where you from. That's where you reside. That's how you came up. Like, tell us about that. The Atlanta culture
Shannon.
and just those experiences leading you to who you are today.
Jasmine, is he hot or no?
Well, I always tell people I did not grow up in the hood. I was definitely a middle class child.
Okay.
But the schools that I went to were very mixed. And I think that it is, well, not I think, I know that you are definitely a product of your environment. Mm-hmm. So me and my mom are not the same because of where I grew up. And growing up in East Atlanta, even though it wasn't like poverty or anything, it was very, very, very ethnic.
So did your mama grow up in the hood?
No.
Okay. So you said y'all not the same?
No.
Okay.
I'm a completely different person than my mother.
Okay. All
right.
Okay.
She always be like, I don't know how my child turned out ghetto.
I hate that word. But what I was going to say is, I believe Jasmine did my co-counsel, Jasmine. Okay. Jasmine, from the very beginning, she did say that, I don't remember which live it is. You'll have to go find it. But she did say that Kayla did not grow up in the hood. So we know Jasmine is verified. We know she's verified.
I'm not ghetto. But I'm thankful for growing up in East Atlanta. It has made me who I am. It has made me be a better lawyer. Like a lot of people have to do marketing and all of that. I have never marketed myself. I've never done any ads or anything. And it's because of where I'm from. People know I am who I say I am. It's a few different, I grew up with this guy. His name is Justin Williams.
I was just going to come on here and Kayla's social media is a form of marketing. Even this Woody, you're fat, that classic moment, it is a form of marketing. It's not intended. It was not intended, but it is marketing. And we can say the same about this SB or her marriage to SB. That is marketing. It may not be direct. It may not have been intended. But just considering how much, I'm going to say notoriety she has gained from this trial, that is an extension of marketing. That's why people click when, her name is in the title. I don't know, obviously for this video, most folks that have subscribed to my channel are really from my Judge Judy and Judge Mathis videos. So as far as I've not been active on YouTube for over a year. So the folks that are subscribing to my channel right now are from the YSL trial. I appreciate you guys. Are from the YSL trial. So people that are invested in Kayla Bumpus would click on a video that has to do with her. So this is definitely an extension of that marketing. May not have been intended, but she is gaining what is this? She is gaining a following and potential clients based off of what we've seen on YouTube and other social media platforms. And that said, I'm going to go back to a point that I made, I don't know, probably last week, when I basically mentioned that, what is this? Kayla, this, what am I saying? This entire, or the marriage to SB, right? Whether you are for it, against it, or if you're just neutral like me and I like to be entertained and I like chaos, what is this? This story, the revelation of it, right, does not detract away from her capabilities, from her skills. It does not detract away from what she is able to do for her clients. Okay, I have alarms. Okay, that means I'm at a slow pace. Let's get into it.
He's a millionaire now because he's 21 Savage manager. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of us that came from that area that have been inserted in the, I guess for lack of better words, hip hop culture, and we're doing great.
Or are you the only person, or did your parents go to college, or what's your family history in the realm of education?
I am the first person to graduate from college, but my mom has since graduated from college.
Okay, that's beautiful. Great. And what prompted you to decide to go to law school? I know you went to school at Georgia State. What was your undergrad degree?
Sociology.
And then what led you to decide
that makes
to go
a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And my law school graduation, I have so many graduations, because I also got my master's in law too. But my mother gave me a piece of paper from my diary, and it's like a pre-scripted.
Okay, Kayla Bumpus, here's my challenge to you. I have a master's, you have a master's. Let's get to SJD.
Diary, and it was from when I was 7. It says, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And it says lawyer. So I always knew I wanted to be a lawyer.
That's great. She knew she wanted to be a lawyer at 7. I knew I wanted to be a lawyer at 11. So yeah. Pretty young.
I interned in the city attorney's office. I worked under Kasim Reed. He was the mayor. And I was around Black excellence, and everybody around me was a Black lawyer. Right. And it's what I knew I wanted. Right. And then I saw, hey, it's attainable. And then I just did it.
So what did the thought to become a lawyer? Obviously you were 7, you just writing it out.
And that's, again, this goes back to the conversation that co-counsel Jasmine and I were having a few weeks back, where we basically, I know some people disagreed. I think it was Viral that disagreed. If it's not Viral, then I apologize. But a lawyer does not, as far as the rigid image of an attorney, that does not have to be, that's not everybody's reality, okay? Because I think if we go back to what the image of an attorney, it had always been a white man in a pinstripe suit. People don't wear those anymore. But that has, from, if we go back, even in media, right, in terms of the movies, probably even music videos, the way that attorneys are portrayed, it is not necessarily true. It is not necessarily true. And Brooklyn, if you're watching, because I wanted to bring this up when we had the live earlier on in the morning, where they're different. I guess it has to do more with culture, right? Because Brooklyn, I guess, had a brief discussion about the contrast between how folks present themselves in court in America versus in America. I mean, I'm saying New York, because Brooklyn said that she is practicing or has experienced contacts with the legal system in New York as well as Israel. So it might be more of a cultural thing, and America, or as some folks says, America, is more relaxed, more free. It's not as rigid, and that's how, at least as far as social media is concerned, we're able to see attorneys in a different light. And we have to think, before there was, in terms of attorneys that are, my family is about to come in here. It's probably about to get very loud. But in terms of, I cannot help the background noise. I cannot help the background noise, but that's just the, what is this? That's, hold on, let me mute this quickly.
That you like.
I'm sorry,
Do you
y'all.
remember like when that?
I should have let the video play while we're trying to get organized organized on this end. Hopefully, I mean, just skip. Maybe I'm gonna cut that part out. If I have enough memory, I should be able to cut out the part where I was paused. Let's just get into this, because there's going to be a lot of background noise. Let's get into it. I want to give you guys a solid video, but I haven't forgot the point that I was trying to make. Let's just get into this.
Transition happen for you in your mind, or like was it was just natural ebb and flow of life for you?
Natural.
You feel like it was important for you because you hear nowadays a lot of people say like,
here's what I was trying to say. So before we saw Kayla Bumpus on social media, I mean, again, I don't have Instagram, but I know that folks have mentioned that she'd often be posing on there with or in bikinis or something along these lines. I used to watch Ready to Love, right? This was the Houston, I believe this was the Houston franchise. In any event, who's this? Simone Redwine, who is an attorney. I believe she's based out someplace in Texas. I don't actually remember where she's based out of. But when you, if you look up her you just look up her name, you will literally see Simone. It's one of those very first pictures that pop up for Instagram. You'll basically see her out there with the tatas out and everything. And I don't know that she has been criticized. Again, I cannot read the comments. But before we saw Kayla, there are other attorneys that have probably, displayed their personalities on, what is this, social media, and that I don't know that really has a bearing on their ability to zealously represent their clients. Let's get into this. Now I'm just rambling, but you guys, I know Old Bag loves it when I ramble.
Like Atlanta is Wakanda. They would joke and say just because of a lot of prominent black people you just referenced coming up at a young age, seeing black lawyers, seeing.
No, I didn't see it at a young age.
Okay, well,
I didn't see it till I was an adult.
Till you was an adult. But we were growing up. You said around 7, around certain people who were, I guess, in prominent positions.
No, I never saw that growing up.
Right.
Okay.
It wasn't. I think it's.
Sir, she said that at the age of 7, that's when she had written down or professed that she wanted to be an attorney. He needs to pay attention. That's why Kayla needs to come on this platform, because we pay attention.
That's why I was saying, it's like I didn't grow up in the hood, but I didn't grow up around
poverty and
well, no, I'm saying I didn't grow up around wealth either, or seeing that. I mean, when I was growing up, my mom had not graduated from college. I mean, so my parents were pastors, and that's all I saw growing up.
Okay, verification. We know that co-counsel Jasmine is legit.
Okay.
I didn't see
She brought that. She brought that to us here.
Not really.
So what was that process like for you in law school? Obviously, I know law school is a very tough to like finish, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? So how was that process for you? Was it like any
law school is doable? The bar exam, that is a hazing ritual.
Moments of adversity where you want to give up and say, this ain't for me? Or was it like just straight through, I committed to this, let me go ahead, finish what I said I'll do?
Yeah, it was a straight through. I had my son when I was 18 or 19. So I had him when I was a sophomore in college. And I mean, it was days he went to class with me and we were good.
Yeah.
Talking about motherhood and that relationship, having a son at a young age and in law school, and the discipline and the things that you have to be able to not only be a mother first and foremost, but be able to continue and finish law school. Talking about you guys, your son's relationship, being a mother, and how that helped form you to who you are today and what you're able to accomplish.
I'm thankful that I had my son when I had him. I'm thankful that he got to see me matriculate from undergrad through law school. I mean, and understand the importance of work ethic.
I know we said we weren't gonna focus on the comments, but I need conversation. I need
kids are spoiled rotten. They are just terrible. But I know that he still understands that this is not something that happened overnight. Now my daughter, she's 5, my son is 15. So my daughter doesn't know anything but princess life. Because that's what, but my son, he knows, I mean, he doesn't know what it's like to have nothing. Because even when I had him and when I was finishing school, like I said, I started working for the mayor. So he's always been around for the most part, me and networking and seeing me in that light. But it's not until recently where, we can really live the way we want to live. And I'm thankful that he was able to see that and be there and sit in those classrooms and, just kind of have some sense of pride. I remember the day I passed the bar, when I picked him up from school, he was like, did you pass? Did you pass? Did you pass? And I'm like, yes, I passed. And that's just like a memorable moment for me.
Amen. So like you said, your parents are pastors. Have they been, how long have they been in that pastoral position?
My parents,
like, was it from childhood?
Yeah, like they had their own church since I was 11.
Yeah,
so you have like the biblical foundation, spiritual foundation in you, obviously. How have those principles that they probably instilled in you as you was growing up, has that helped you as you grown through life?
I always tell people that it's everything I have is not because of me, it's all because of God.
Good word.
And I always believe that God does have favorites. I don't care what anybody says. And I'm one of those favorites, and I'm thankful for that. And recently I've been learning how to appreciate the favor of God that's on my life. Because
this is so random, but there was an ad during the election cycle. There was an ad. No, I'm not going to play that here. I'm not going to give Donald Trump I'm not giving him that kind of attention. But in any event, there was an ad that was circulating, and the theme of the ad was something along the lines of God gave us Trump or something. I mean, I thought the production was great. Not that I don't like Donald Trump, but I thought that was a very good message for folks that are religious.
Everybody is not supposed to benefit from that favor.
My point is, I guess Donald Trump is actually highly favored because he's gotten away with so much that, a regular person would not be able to get away with.
God.
So what you mean by appreciate the favor?
Well, because there have been times where I let people be around me and they benefit from the favor that's on my life and they don't deserve it. And they're not even supposed to be around me. But because they're around me and because of the way God holds me, they get those blessings.
And he don't play about you.
Yeah, he don't play about me. And it gets to a point where it's disrespectful to God when you're taking people places and doing things with people who don't deserve it.
That's a good word. So you've been on a high profile case with Young Thug and the whole case, I guess you could say. What do you think about that case? Like how long it was, the length of it, the foolery that was going on within the case. Like, what is your thought on that?
Yeah.
Well, I would say the foolery I shouldn't speak on because most of that is me.
Okay.
You say that why?
I'm just saying, oh my goodness. And I'm not even gonna say most of that is me, but there were some very critical moments that I was involved in with that case, especially with getting the judge recused. And
did you think that was the fair thing to do, getting the judge recused, bringing in the whole new judge?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I have so much respect for Judge
I
Whitaker.
mean, the ex parte meeting really should have never taken place at all. At all. It should not have taken place at all.
I think that she has done an amazing job, and I'm thankful for her.
Yeah. Do you think the prosecution dropped the ball in that case?
Absolutely. They dropped the ball. They never picked it up. Okay. There was no ball.
Okay.
Right.
It's completely made up. Everything is completely made up. And I say this, and I tread lightly when I say it's not that I believe everybody sitting in that courtroom is innocent.
Okay, that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. Okay. There's, as far as probable cause to arrest, I think there was something there. But even having said that, Fonnie Willis overcharged this case. Fonnie Willis overcharged this case. This case never should have been a RICO. It should not have been brought as a RICO to begin with. And they were unprepared. I don't know why. Again, I'm still, there are a few things about this case that puzzle me. The one is why Woody got immunity to begin with. The second one, I don't understand why they brought this as a RICO, or why she decided to pick this up after the previous DA did not want it to. I don't know. Again, maybe political, for political reasons. Maybe that's why she got re-elected. I need to look at. I was about to go down another rabbit hole. Let me get on, because let me get on, because.
But as a prosecutor and as officers and as a judicial system, there's a way to go about things. Right. You cannot conjure up things because you know people are in the streets and then say, this is what we're going to prosecute you for. And my biggest thing,
I wonder if they're going to ask her about SB. I am curious to find out if they're going to ask her about SB. Oh, underrated. Now that I'm looking at this, they are actually fairly new. They only have 565 subscribers. After this, I guess we're gonna go. I'm just gonna see what kind of content they usually have.
It's not that whether they're guilty or innocent, they have the right to a fair trial, which is what they were not given.
And again, that's that goes back to the difference between factual and substantive truth. Again, that's really, I'm gonna keep saying it over and over and over again.
Absolutely.
What's the balance like? Because when we started, and you're talking about how you were underrated, and people may perceive you online because you may post different things. What's the balance like from that, balancing that, showing your personality, being natural human, just being yourself online, and wanting to also have that professional image, but still be able to move how you want to move?
I don't know about professional image. I just don't like, I guess what I struggle with is the rigid definition that is attached to it.
I would say I'm definitely thankful for YouTube. I think that initially when I became involved in a YSL case, people saw these certain images in me. I had to testify, and a lot of people didn't like how I testified.
Actually, I never watched Kayla's testimony. That we will have to get into that on one of these days. But obviously that's when after the holidays, we need to get back to that, to her on the stand, because I watched clips, but I did not watch I did not watch her entire testimony.
I came to court one day not thinking I would be called to talk, and I have on this little bitty dress. And the judge calls me, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I walk up there, all the boys, I'm like,
this trial is so crazy because they pretty much didn't they put who's this, Mungtung's attorney on the stand? Obviously the other guy, he worked for the DA's, he's with the DA's office, so that does not really matter. I'm surprised they did not put Glanville on the stand, because if anybody needs to be on the stand, it's him.
Y'all stop. They laughing because I'm on this little bitty dress. But so people had perceived me as like, why is she in the courtroom with that? And why is she? I'm like, I was a spectator. I wasn't a lawyer today. But they don't know all that. They just
Now that we know, she was probably putting on a show for her man, honey. She not just being messy. She was no. If we think about it, if she and SB were talking around this time, because this was probably 2 months before that August, or at least the stamp on that the August marriage license, because I think wasn't it filed September? I can look it up, but if I look it up, we're just gonna go down a rabbit hole. I think that Alford was probably to put on a show for her man, give him something to look at while he's incarcerated, you know. Yeah, so do your thing, girl.
a lot of people don't even watch the trial. They just see these clips chopped up and then they just go crazy. But YouTube allowed me to speak and to let people know. They're like, oh my God, Kayla's so smart. And I don't think they would have known that if it wasn't for me being able to have my own platform and a place for people to know me outside of a picture. They ask me questions. I always get to tell them, a lawyer perspective. We talk about all kind of things. And when I first kind of got in the limelight, I would say my, what's the word? Approval rating was probably like a 60. Now I'll say I'm probably at like a 90.
Is there any challenges being a Black female lawyer that you may run into, or anything like that?
That's a tough question because not really in Atlanta.
Yeah,
but other places.
I was gonna comment. That probably would not apply to Fulton County.
And when I say Atlanta, I literally mean Atlanta, not Georgia.
Okay.
Because if I go 2 hours outside of Atlanta, it might be a problem. I've had people think I was a defendant or think I was a paralegal or court reporter. Those are common things that I hear, but not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
But that's
I've only, at least from my perspective, I've only heard somebody vocalize that once, and that's in my current job. There was a client, maybe it happened twice. There was somebody that came in on, what is this, Tuesday? It must have been Tuesday because I did not work yesterday. And I had to tell them that, no, I am the attorney. But before that, when I first joined my current law firm, I mostly work around white folks, okay? Not mostly, actually, all the time. I'm thinking about, with the exception of one office, there's an office that I worked in because it was in I'm not going to say again, it was in a larger city with a higher, as far as the demographics are concerned, higher percentage of Black folks in that realm. So there were more. That's probably the only office I worked in that had a lot of Black attorneys. Other than that, I'm usually, again, this is another, I keep dropping Easter eggs. I keep dropping Easter eggs about my identity and possible location. In any event, every other office I've worked in, I have been the only Black attorney. And if we go back to one of my other public defender jobs, a defendant came into court, and he basically asked me, he's like, are you an attorney? And I'm like, yeah, I'm an attorney. And he told me he's been going to court for 10 years as a criminal defendant. He's been in court for 10 years, and he has never seen a Black attorney. He had never, and even, let me think. No, if I give you guys too much information, you're able to, if you Google, you'll be able to find location. So let's let that, let's let it be.
Because I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. You kind of just spoke about YouTube, and I seen a shift on YouTube where a lot of lawyers are kind of critiquing cases, whether ongoing or not. Right. When did you see that shift, being a shift, being an attorney yourself, and lawyers kind of be able to not only show their knowledge and connect with fan bases via YouTube and social media?
I had never got on YouTube a day in my life until this trial.
Yeah. if we go back to lawyers reacting, obviously, we go back to the lead attorney. I don't know that he's the first attorney that I saw. I mean, we go to Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis really took off reacting to King Von's music after King Von died. Let's see, who else? There's another guy that comes on here with some really tight pants. That's my only description of him. A black guy. He usually has shorts. He has curly hair. By shorts, I mean the shorts that you see, the YouTube shorts. That's when he's usually recommended. Other than that, I mean, then we have the Midas Touch Network, which is I actually like the Midas Touch Network. So if you guys have a moment, tune into them. Unless you love Donald Trump, you're not gonna like their channel because they talk about him a lot or they criticize him a lot, rightfully so. What other the other attorneys on here? I mean, we have Simone Redwine, but Simone Redwine does not really critique. I mean, maybe to an extent. Maybe to an extent, she does critique. I don't think she critiques ongoing cases though. She gets on a platform, she goes on and she discusses certain aspects, maybe child support, things of that nature. Who else do we have? I don't recall. But okay, let's get into, I'm always talking.
I didn't know nothing about YouTube.
Yeah.
And I started going on different people's platforms, lawyers, and mostly lawyers, and doing these interviews about what had happened. And everybody's like, stop going on their page, make your own YouTube.
Right.
So I did not even realize the YouTube phenomenon until this summer.
Crazy. So like, for those still sticking with the lawyer talk, for those that don't know, can you explain what an alpha plea is? Because
Yes.
obviously, you know, Gunna took a lot of heat saying he was a snitch and etc. I don't know. How do you feel about it? You don't got to speak on it if you don't want to, but just allow people to understand what an alpha plea is so they can get a better understanding.
Okay, I have a question, random. You know, we always have these random thoughts. Maybe, I don't know, maybe co-counsel can chime in on this. Now, considering that we have actual confirmation that Kayla and SB are married, right? We have that confirmation. How does this play out considering that SB and Woody aren't really, or at least from my understanding, they're not really on good terms. They may have been a falling out. How does that? I don't know. That's kind of inconceivable. That's a part of my mind that that cannot make sense of this whole thing and the fact that Woody and Kayla are cool, unless that is just what, a business move. Because I'm the type of person, listen, if we have a falling out, I'm cutting. Listen, you cannot contact my family. My family cannot contact you. When we break up in friendship or otherwise, we're breaking up with everybody. We're breaking up with Granny Betty and everybody else.
Of
I know that's
the situation he was in.
Well, I'm gonna talk about Gunna because I don't think that, and it's not anything personal, but I don't think that my problem with Gunna is not that he was a snitch, or not. Let me not say Gunna, because Gunna wasn't the only one to take a plea.
Okay.
Correct.
It was a lot of people, but I'll say specifically my issue with him, and I told him this, is that you don't get to benefit for years and years and become a millionaire off of someone and then take a plea in 9 months and leave. That's what hurt my feelings.
Okay, so I'm gonna disagree I'm disagreeing with that point. I guess again, she has personal relationships with these folks, and when she's saying that he benefit, I don't listen to music out of Atlanta like that. The only I do like I listen to Gucci. I listen to Gucci. And that song with him and Drake, I love that song. And then I do listen. I mean, I do listen to 2 Chainz as well. But as far as Ghana, Young Thug, I don't listen to them. Okay, I listen to like feel good music, and if it's our feel good music, then we're listening to drill music, which is really, really feel good music. Okay, and that's music that pumps you up, amps you up if you need some, I don't know, energy. If you just want to get things done. That said, so she obviously knows more about about these folks and the interrelatedness or the relations that these folks have, the relationships or friendships that they have. But from a defense perspective, if you get yourself in, I've said this over and over again, if you get yourself in, you absolutely have the right to decide how you get yourself out. So, and that's part of the game, folks. That is part of the game. I 100%, I believe in self-preservation. Okay. I believe in self-preservation. And that's why I don't, even though I question when I question Woody's immunity, I'm not saying, I mean, he worked for immunity. He gave them everything they're looking for. So they thought, okay, give it to this guy. I question it from the perspective of a prosecutor's, I question it as far as strategy goes for the DA's office, because considering that he was involved in so much stuff, he would have been great as a defendant in terms of the prosecution's case, because there's no doubt that these folks would have been attacking each other on the stand. And it's through that attack that it's through that attack that a prosecutor would have been able to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt. So again, I disagree. If Gunna gets in here and decides, okay, this is what I want to do, I'm in this mess that I created, and this is how I want to get out, then do that.
It's not that I thought he told or anything like that. I just wanted them to stick it out together, at least to see what happened.
No. I disagree. I am disagreeing with that. If a defendant sees a way out, I am not going to fault you for protecting yourself, for preserving. I have no problem with that.
To play devil's advocate, just to play devil's advocate for the sake of a conversation, if I'm in that position and I can get out now.
I know, is he nervous? I know, I'm always random. Let me leave that man alone.
But still not risk of telling you, or I don't know specifically. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Again, this is me. That's why I keep saying you guys are going to keep hearing really unorthodox things on this channel because I am a very unusual person. But from a criminal defense perspective, get yourself out whatever way you want to get yourself out. When I say this, right, I have had, I've at least had one client that he got caught up in some stuff. And in order for him to get out, he wanted to cooperate. He basically wanted to go undercover, hoping that the DA's office would be lenient. That was the one time when I was like, don't do that. Like, why? Anyways, they did not take him up on the offer because he was a junkie. That was a lot of mess waiting to happen. But whatever way, if you find yourself in some stuff and you want it, this is not legal advice, by the way. This is just commentary. But if a criminal defendant finds themselves in some stuff, you decide how to get out of it. But then again, you should be ready to face the consequences. And the reason why I'm saying that is just because I considered there was a case. It's one of those. I'm pretty sure this was on the first 48. It's probably on YouTube. This person, it started off. I'm gonna have to now find this just because I'm going off on these random tangents. But this case had to do with the defendant kidnapped somebody, and in order to cover up the kidnapping, they did something else which was far worse. And in the end, to cover that second thing up, they had to commit a murder to try and cover up some other crime and a kidnapping. So under those circumstances, then you're kind of really on, I don't know, they did not think that out through. I don't know how they thought they could get out of that. I mean, I guess I'm going to put an asterisk on that one. But overall, I think that if somebody wants to tell, go ahead and tell. If you want to, you can snitch if you want to. That's your business.
I can get out now and not snitch.
And the reason why I'm saying that it's because for some defendants, you can be loyal to your co-defendants. But when if the heat is put on your co-defendant, somebody's going to tell. That's always how it is. Somebody ends up telling, unless you're King Von. If you're King Von, then King Von doesn't tell. But oftentimes somebody does fold.
To tell on you and still be able to live my life, why I gotta wait it out? Why? That don't what? How does that define my loyalty to you or to what I benefit from? Just because maybe I got out and eventually in the end.
And then again, that is me talking from the perspective of somebody that has never been in the streets, never been around people that are in the streets. So that's why and then the foundation of that comment though is really more from the perspective of a criminal defense attorney that believes in pursuing every interest or every benefit for their client. So that's where I'm coming from.
How to?
I'm a street girl.
Okay.
I'm just saying that was that.
All right. I guess that's the difference because I cannot speak from their perspective because I don't have that life experience.
I don't know. I don't think what he did was wrong. I'm just saying when we're talking.
You guys see that rock? Did you see that wedding band, honey?
Talking about the issues. I mean, I can't say what I would have done. I can't say that I would not have done that, but I know and I know his heart, and I'm seeing him take care of so many people, and it's just heartbreaking to see all them people.
This is a 25-minute video that we have managed to basically make into a 46-minute video, but that is good. Otherwise, you're not just watching me say or yes and nodding along. I'm basically, I'm giving my commentary.
We're taking pleas, and honestly, I don't know. I haven't spoken to him or gonna after this. I don't know if
you probably shouldn't.
They ever talked about him taking a plea, and that was my thing. I feel like Thug found out when we found out. And that is what was hurtful to me.
Yeah,
because there's a way to do things. I feel like if you say, "Hey, bro, this,"
I don't know, were these defendants allowed to have contact at the time? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. But then again, they do fly kites or whatever in prison. So that I don't know.
No, let me get out. Let me work my move. Let me keep motion going.
Yeah.
Completely different situation.
He kept the motion going though.
I don't
For
know.
who?
For YSL. Ain't he still contractually obligated to Thug? If I'm not mistaken, that's what he said he wanted to talk to in the courtroom.
Yeah.
But y'all,
I'm just saying.
You said from the outside looking
That's
in.
what I'm saying. That's why
a musical perspective.
That's why I asked you what the alpha plea was. Can you
okay, I'm gonna talk
the
about
audience to know what the alpha plea is? Then we can get into the back end.
The Alford plea comes from a case, North Carolina versus Alford, and he claims that he has a temporary lapse in consciousness, but there's so much evidence weighing against him that he wants to take a plea, which is a constitutional right, but he does not want to admit guilt. Right. But he knows that the evidence is so heavy against him that if he goes to trial, he'll get life. Right. So this is where we get the case law for an Alford plea.
Okay.
So when you take an Alford plea, it's like, hey, look, maybe we have these things called 404Bs, which is...
So you're basically saying that I'm not saying that I engage in the criminal conduct that I'm accused of engaging in, but if I take this to trial without this is me exaggerating. There's a grave possibility that I'm going to get locked up. And in order to avoid, not just locked up, but get a lengthier sentence. In order to avoid that, I'm just going to, enter a plea. That's really what it comes down to.
Prior bad acts. And if the judge allows those in, so maybe I stole 5 cars 10 years ago. And I didn't...
And again, what we're talking about, prior bad acts, things of that nature. Again, that's the distinction between factual truth and substantive truth.
Steal this car, but I know the jury's going to hear that I stole 5 cars. I might want to go ahead and take a plea. Or maybe, they have some fingerprints because I was there the day before, this, and that, and they have all this evidence that will be presented to the jury. And I don't want to risk that.
Yeah.
Then I take an Alford plea, which puts you in the exact same position as any plea guilty.
Right.
Okay.
It's just on your record, it will say that it was taken under Alford.
Yeah.
And a judge can reject an Alford plea
Okay.
and say no
I just think the video looked bad because he was up there saying yes, ma'am, to like.
before she can ask the question.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. So I think that's where.
Well, there was a lot of things wrong with that.
Okay.
I hated how he came out the jail with a girl.
Why you like that?
Okay, this would have been a great live. Maybe we can. No, we don't have to redo this. But I guess when we reconvene on today, Thursday, on Friday, let's talk a little bit about this from Diggy, from FFS, Jasmine, other folks in Atlanta, and even folks that aren't in Atlanta. Allie, you probably also know more about Ghana than I do. I'd like to know what the whole girl thing has to do with anything. Like, I guess I want background information
People fighting for their
because we're nosy out here.
lives. You need to walk out with your mama or walk out by yourself.
Okay. I'm listening. I'm tuned in. He was talking your talk.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying nothing bad about Gunna. I love Gunna. You know, that's not my. I tell people all the time, like they get mad at me for talking to Woody and took it. I'm not no street. I'm a lawyer. I can talk to who I want to talk to. Like, don't make me pick.
Why is Woody so like street politics? When you snitch, you gotta like bounty on your head for lack of a better word.
You have to do
if
what?
You want to say that, right?
Oh, I see.
So why is he just
Bounty.
so roaming free? Like
No, I hate this type of question. The reason why I hate this type of question is because it implies that somebody needs to do something to Woody. And no.
Nobody touching him, nobody messing with him. Is it because
I don't like this type
of his aura, his who he is as an individual? Like they know, or is it? What do you think that is?
I don't like that.
I think that things are not what they seem, and I think that
Answer the question. We need more info.
I mean,
honestly, we get Kayla on here. I'm gonna do a face reveal. Let's get Kayla on here because I'd like to have a conversation with Kayla. Or maybe I need to go down to Atlanta. I don't know.
That's a tough one. I think that Atlanta knows what Woody did, but the world doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that people fully. I mean, we see the comments where, you know, people call him a rat and a snitch and stuff, but the overall consensus is that I guess Woody is some type of comedian. So I guess they don't really understand what's going on, but
the seriousness behind it.
Yeah, because like even when I have done a few speaking engagements and people didn't even know he was a witness. I'm like, huh?
What did they think?
What did you think he was doing?
Yeah.
Because once again, they see these clips,
Right?
Okay.
and they think it's funny.
But I ain't gonna lie, them clips did like look like he was up there just BSing, like just creating stuff. Like.
I've known Woody for so long. That's Woody.
Yeah.
Another prominent case I'd love to get your expertise on is the Lil Durk case. What's your thoughts on it? What's your thoughts on it?
I think
that guy is caught up with the feds. Okay. One thing about the feds, they don't play. And it's not just that. When what is this? I know my family's probably annoyed right now because I said 20 minutes. I said 20 minutes and I'm going on an hour. But in any event, with the Lil Durk case, because you guys know that I really love King Von. That's my dude. Okay. When in these comments, right, people have always been, there's a line where there'd be they were challenging Durk, saying that he did not slide for Von. Okay. And that's part of the reason why I have a question with this man here. I think his name is Shannon or some. Is he Shannon, the one that was on this side? Oh, but I'm pointing. Can you guys see my arrow? I don't know if you can see the mouse or not, but the one of the hosts, when he asked that question about, I'm paraphrasing, but the question basically implied how or why is Woody able to walk around here as a free man? If we go back to that whole Durk situation, when people were challenging him, saying he did not slide for Von, he's not this, he's not that. When the news came out, this was about 2 years ago, I believe. When the news came out that um who's this? Rondo was in a car with somebody, and the individual, was deleted, and the news was basically, or at least reporters were claiming that Rondo was not the intended target. I called BS. I called BS. But anyways, this is me ranting again. Dirk is cooked. Dirk is fried. I don't care what type of. I don't even know much about the facts. Okay, I do know the facts surrounding the arrest, but I don't know the evidence that the federal government has. But just by its very what is this? By its very reputation, by the federal government's reputation, that man is cooked. I explained this in a video from last week. The very last thing that the federal government does is arrest. They investigate. And once they have an airtight case, once it's sealed, that's when they arrest. So, and in Dirk, we might find some people that may have flipped as well. They might be wise. They might be. We're going to take a look into that, though. And there are certain cases that I have trouble covering, though. For example, what is this? The XXX Tentacion case. That was a difficult case for me to watch. And the reason why it was difficult for me to watch is because I absolutely adored him. He's one of, I'll put my not my playlist, but what is it called? Apple Music has this thing where they show the top music or the music you've listened to the most for a specific year, and it's usually a recap or whatever. But you will see on there that I absolutely love. I love that guy. I thought he was great. He was brilliant. He was a great musician. At the time, he was really turning his life around. He was doing fantastic things for his community. That was a tough case for me to watch just because I was really involved. That's why I can watch this YSL trial, because I have no dog in the fight. And even at the time that the defendants in X's case were on trial, that's when we had the Alex murder case. That case was really it was a show. It was a shit show. That guy, that would have been a hung jury had he not decided to get on that stand. Anyways, now I'm just rambling. Let's get back into that.
I think he has Drew Finley, which is amazing. I love Drew so much. And I don't know.
Does he have a check?
Well, and see, I did a Shade Room interview on Dirt like 3 weeks ago, and everybody attacked me because I said the feds have a 98% conviction rate. So my whole thing is, I have rarely seen the Fed. I've never.
That man is cooked, and as I'm gonna leave it there.
Really heard anybody say I beat a federal case. Yeah. I mean, other than maybe a rap song.
With the so the feds definitely have. They do have a strong reputation. There's a case out of was it Philadelphia? It's somewhere in Pennsylvania. I'm trying to think. It was a drug case. It was father and son. They both went to trial. The father got acquitted. The son got convicted. There are not many cases, very few cases where folks are able to get acquitted. There's another mayor. I shouldn't have said another mayor because the people I was talking about before were not mayors. But I'm thinking about Adams right now. There's a mayor. I'm going to have to find that case. There's a mayor that was charged with corruption. He was convicted at the trial court level, but the appeal reversed the conviction. And right now I'm just thinking about Adams, because when Adams was initially indicted, and I listened to the press conference where they were breaking down the charges. I was like, is this it? Like, is this all you have? Because if that's all they have, I'm gonna have to go back. It's been a while since I paid attention to Eric Adams. I don't think the charges are strong enough. We're gonna have to take a deeper dive into that without really getting political. I mean, everything is political, so I don't even know why I said that. I'm thinking with Adams, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure that they will be able to get a conviction that would not be overturned on appeal. Yeah, with Dirk though, these circumstances, the facts of the case, I don't know. I think Dirk is cooked.
I don't even know the one.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I've never seen it.
I will
Now,
say I seen feds drop cases.
that's what I was about to say.
I had a Fed case against me, and I was on a conspiracy at the bottom of the list. And when I got my discovery, I'm telling the lawyer like I'm innocent. Like I know these folk, but I ain't. You know what I'm saying? And I seen that, but like you saying, I ain't seen nobody beat
Go to trial and win. I've never seen it. But I've
I mean,
seen
they do exist. It's just rare. They are unicorns. It's rare.
mitigating. That's what I was gonna say. I've seen, reductions and but I don't know. The things that I don't like about the Dirk case is that one, the alleged wiretap. Two, the plane tickets. He bought 4 plane tickets to one.
Allegedly.
No, that ain't alleged. That's the truth.
They said it was OTF card. They ain't say it was his card.
It was in his name.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
The flights were in. Okay. And so that's what triggered all of this.
Yeah,
I don't even think they were about to arrest him.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But I think once he did that, border control or the FBI, they saw that and he didn't make the flights. And I think that's pretty wild because
he would have been. I think he would have been arrested regardless. The Dirk case is probably a better case to touch on than Diddy. Diddy we're going to get into because we're probably going to. There's going to be interesting developments, but the allegations are just so gross. They're so gross. And Greg, at least in yesterday's live, asked me asked me about my representation of folks that I know are guilty, or I know or I suspect of have engaged in the conduct that they're accused of, right? What I'm gonna say is the Diddy allegations just make my stomach turn. They make my stomach turn. They're gross. Really. Anyways, I'm sick to my stomach just thinking. Okay, let's get into this.
He was on his way to get on one.
The Diddy case is similar to the R. Kelly case in the sense that I really did not want to touch that. I did not want to read about it. It's a difficult case to talk about.
That's how they caught him.
Yeah.
And then let me see. I mean, it's a lot because once again, it's the music lyrics.
Yeah.
There's things in the music, and he had just beat a case. And the attorney he had on that case is Nicole Mormon. Me and her are very close. She represented me when I was about to be held in contempt in the YSL case. But I don't know. It's tough because you got other people. It's always better when you're just by yourself.
Yeah.
But you don't know what these other people are going to do or say. You got the purchasing of the ski mask on the same day, and you got the proof that they were all in LA.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah. As you reflect back, you look at your upbringing, your life, your younger self, being a young mother at whatever point, what would you tell your younger self?
That's hard because...
And we need to get Kayla in here. I can listen. With Kayla, we're going to have a fantastic conversation. We'll be out here laughing and everything. Okay? Because I don't like... The thing about me, I like to laugh every day. I'd like to laugh more than once or twice a day. And these folks did not get me to laugh. I mean, this was a good interview, though, because they weren't out there bashing her. Here's the thing. 2 things I'd like to see. I would like an interview with my co-counsels and Kayla. That would be fantastic. I'm not even going to call it an interview. That's more of a conversation. But the other thing I'd absolutely love to see, I would love Tasha K to interview Taisha. I would love, because initially I was going to say I want to see Tasha K interview Kayla, but no, that's not the type of energy we need for Kayla. But for Taisha, we need let's start. Can we start a petition Can we start? We need to. We need Tasha to interview somebody out of, or maybe even Woody. Nah, that would not. Nah, no. Okay, so here's my question: who should Tasha K interview? Kayla Bumpus, Taisha Alexander, Lil Woody, or somebody else? Not attorneys though. Nah, not attorneys. That's not the type of content we want. I know. If there's a fourth person worthy of an interview by Tasha K, please put it in the comments or the chat when when this should I think I'm gonna premiere this. Okay, now I'm just thinking. Hold on, let's conclude this.
I really don't have. That's tough because I really live my life unapologetically.
Yeah.
Like I don't care, and it's a gift and a curse to not care what people think.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you take it too far.
Yeah.
But it also helps you sleep better at night. And I can't say I would tell myself to keep going because nothing has stopped me and nothing will stop me. My friends, they have this joke about me that one day I'm gonna call them and say, y'all fly over to this island I bought, because that's just how my life has been. Just blessing after blessing after blessing.
Sound like manifestation too.
For sure.
7 years
Kayla does
old,
not
you were a
answer
lawyer.
questions
Now
like
we sitting
this.
right here, you're a lawyer.
For sure.
As you
Traits of an attorney.
before we let you go, but as you reflect back, not only as yourself, what would you and your brand is now you're branding and marketing yourself. What do you want the folks to let them know, like who you are? Because at our platform, we like people tell their stories, and I feel like you eloquated yours pretty well about yourself and who you are versus an image what they might see.
Man,
Well,
I like the
I
graphics
feel like
though. I should work on my graphics. I just don't have time, y'all. I'm usually working, but I'm working. I did create a banner. Create a banner. I just, I don't know. I don't know. I need to work. I need to work on the imaging of sustained overruled. Or the presentation. No, I think the presentation is good because, as Jerome says, it's raw content. It's not edited. We just whatever. We speak our minds out here.
Nobody an explanation as to who I am.
Good work. Yeah.
I'm a mother. I'm a lawyer. I'm
Wife?
a woman. I'm
Wife?
so many things.
Girl,
And
on Instagram you said wife. You need to say you're a wife.
when you get, I feel like, not to take away from what you're saying, I love the question,
Yeah.
but when you get caught up in trying to explain your brand and tell people who you are, it's just kind of like, why?
Right.
As long as I can look in the mirror and as long as my children can look at me and everything that is, being portrayed does not embarrass them. My whole thing is if my grandma can see it and we good, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
We greatly appreciate you coming on the pod, just giving us your time. Obviously, I know you're a busy person, just to jump down on this podcast and just give us your energy, your mind, all that. We greatly appreciate that. Shannon Shorter, Kayla B,
Shannon looked in the camera, honey.
Another episode. Like, subscribe, comment, follow.
This was kind of me gossiping. But that's probably the type of energy we need for today. What are they talking about? I don't know. Can you guys see that side of my screen? Yeah. I don't know what Funny and them have going on. Let's quickly take a look at these. Who's Tisha Scott? I don't know. They said that's who Kayla looks like. Somebody says she has potential. Potential for what? The performance I saw in the courtroom was a bit cringy, but that's all I have to reference. I need to increase. Listen, I can barely see this print. All right. Excuse me. All right. So somebody said that Kayla's from Decatur. Is that different from Fulton County, or is it different from Atlanta? Probably it is. That's why they bring it up. Let's see. Everyone is not supposed to benefit from the favor of God. What? And God has favorites. What? Coming from a pastor's daughter, I'm shocked. As far as religion goes, I really have no comment. She should be quiet talking about another person's case. You're not his lawyer. I don't agree with that. Somebody said Jesus Christ. Apparently, there's a translation. I don't know. Oh, it was. I don't know. I dislike when people bring up God in the midst of their chaos. God loves us all. She seems like an insecure. I'm not reading the rest of that. Okay, let's see. What is Bruce Willis or Bruce? I think that's his name. Bruce. Oh, Bruce Rivers. All right. What? All all right. That is pretty much it. My algorithm is off. It's mess and crime. That's all we have. That's all we have here. All right. No, I think this was a fantastic interview. This was a fantastic interview. Let's see what these men are up to. That's their trailer, I suppose. This is great production. Unlike, I'm not even going to compare them to me because I'm fantastic. Okay. Um, let's take a look at their Oh, I can go back. Let's see what are they about. Okay, it shines a spot. I'm not. The print is too small for me. I'm not even going to try and do that. But I wanted to see who the hosts are. Who are these people? Okay, so they used Toby. I always have a problem pronouncing this man's name. I've watched a few of his music videos, but what drew me to him was the "Try Jesus, Not Me." That song was great. I don't know where I heard it, but I heard it enough, and I was interested in it enough. It piqued my interest enough for me to actually look him up. So who does he interview? Who does he interview? Oh, Dwayne Bacon. That was 8 days ago. Uh, who are these people? I mean, they're starting off. What I've seen so far has been great. Great content, great content. And obviously, Kayla brought them the views because she's hot right now. She is hot right now. I don't know who this is. Are these shorts? All right. I wonder. Actually, now I'm curious. I don't know much about D Bacon apart from the fact that he was in a relationship with Nick, and Nick is from Baton Rouge. I followed her. I watch trash TV. I've not watched her lately though, but I do know of her. Not personally. I'm talking about YouTube. YouTube. I do not know that girl. Okay. In any event, I hope you guys enjoy the live. Let me see what else. We're back tomorrow. That's Friday. We'll be live 11 p.m. Central Time. So that no. Wait, no, it's 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So it will be 10 p.m. Central Time for me. If I'm late, I hope I'm not late. But if I'm late, that's because I'm on the road. Just turn your notifications on, and you'll be alerted when we go live. Tomorrow's Friday, so we have to gossip. There's no way around it. We have to gossip. We have to gossip. We have to gossip. All right. Hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I appreciate you guys. And I know what we don't usually, closing arguments, there's really nothing to say. You guys know I can ramble on and on and on and on. So I am going to quit it right here.